I watched an interview with James Degale on IFL TV earlier on today. And in the midst of all the stuff he was talking about, he made a very, very interesting comment. Now, we know that James Degale is signed to Al Heyman, and the individual that he mentioned is also signed to Al Heyman, so perhaps he does have the inside track on this. But what he said was that WBC light heavyweight world champion Adonis Stevenson is considering moving back down to 168 pounds. Very, very interesting if this is accurate from James Degale, and I don't see any reason why he would make up anything like that. He says that that's actually a fight he'd be interested in, so I don't know if he is talking about Adonis Stevenson moving down to 168 for a one-off fight with himself, or if he's talking about Stevenson moving back down to 168 pounds, perhaps permanently. Who knows? Stevenson in the past has talked about moving back down to 168 for specific fights, namely the Carl Froch fight. That's a fight that he, on several occasions, said he would drop back down to 168 for, and he'd even go to the UK to fight Carl Froch. Froch expressed no interest in fighting Adonis Stevenson. You've got Sergey Kovalev at light heavyweight, you've got Andre Ward, but because of the politics between Al Heyman and HBO, it seems at this point in time, and not just Al Heyman and HBO, also Kathy Duver and Al Heyman, because of the politics involved, it seems as though Adonis Stevenson won't be fighting the likes of Sergey Kovalev or Andre Ward, which is very disappointing. But at the same time, you do have some decent fighters, or seemingly very good fighters, on the Al Heyman Adonis Stevenson side of the pond. From a promotional perspective, I'm talking about, not geographical. And you've got people like Artur Beterbiev, for example, who has been very inactive of late. There's been talk that he's been injured and whatnot. I know he's got a fight coming up, but still, you've got a Beterbiev there, and I'd like to see Beterbiev fight Stevenson. Why not? They're both with Uncle Al. But apparently that fight is not being talked about. What they're talking about is Adonis Stevenson fighting, what's the guy called now? I've forgotten his name. The Colombian, is he Colombian? Yeah, the Colombian light heavyweight they're talking about. I've totally forgotten his name now. It'll probably come to me later on in this video. You know how it is with me and my memory, me and my old age. But they're talking about him fighting this Colombian light heavyweight who fought Isaac Chilemba, who is also signed to the same promotional group. I believe he's signed to Yvonne Michel, that promotional outfit in Canada. So, yeah, that guy's there, but that's hardly a spectacular fight. That's hardly something that would blow box office numbers out the water, you know? So perhaps Adonis Stevenson is looking at the light heavyweight division and saying, you know what? Badu Jack, James Degale, I'd like the winner of that fight. That's a high-profile unification. And given the fact that, well, I'm not sure if Badu Jack is advised by Al Heyman. I don't think he is. We know he's a Mayweather guy. James Degale is certainly advised by Al Heyman. So perhaps Stevenson's looking at that and saying, yeah, I'd like a bit of that action. And when it comes to Stevenson moving down in weight, I know many people have mentioned in the past that older fighters who move down in weight tend to suffer a lot. And it normally ends badly. But Adonis Stevenson was never the biggest light heavyweight to begin with. Remember, the only reason that he moved up to light heavyweight in the first place is because he couldn't get that title shot against Carl Froch. So he was offered a fight against light heavyweight champion Chad Dawson. Dawson saw Stevenson as just a comeback fight, a tune-up fight. And oh, how wrong he was. How badly he and his team miscalculated, because Adonis Stevenson ended up wiping him out and going on to reign as WBC light heavyweight champion for a couple of years now. So I don't think he's ever been the biggest light heavyweight. He's only like, what is he, 5'11"? And he seemed pretty comfortable at super middleweight. So perhaps he can move down permanently. Will that mean that he's going to relinquish his WBC heavyweight, light heavyweight title? Or will he try and hold titles in different divisions simultaneously? It all remains to be seen. And any new information I get on this situation, I will definitely make a video and keep you guys updated. And if you guys get the information before I do, then please, or maybe some of you have info on it now, drop it in the comment section below and enlighten us all. But let me know what you think about this, people. Adonis Stevenson possibly dropping down to 168 to fight the likes of James Degale, Badu Jack, so on and so forth. Let me know what you think about that and the possible ramifications of that at light heavyweight. All right, it's your boy Hatman. I'm out.